lights are on. So reset the counters and we're live. That's an interesting picture. Welcome to Amberskies 2019. Questions and answers number 4. Wow, are we up to number 4 already on these Q&As? Fantastic. Well, today is all about me answering questions, I suppose. So I better get on with it. My name's Blades, and this is brought to you by Amberskies, the future of 3D networking. During the week, we are programming a networking solution, an MMO game of all things, which for one person to program I would say is an impossibility, but possibly not. It could be a practical possibility. I don't know yet, but we will find out. We've actually already programmed the end of 2 weeks was the initial first stage development, and that gave us as a multiplayer platform on which we could write a game. I'm now pushing the boundaries on that by cleaning up the code and making it into a more functional code base, which can be expanded. I think, no, it can be added to. That's not expanded, added to. Yeah, anyway, that's not what today's about. I made a note on a sticky note. Come here, sticky note. Last week's rants was about things. What was it about now? Garbage collectors and stuff like that. But that borders on languages. What language? Yeah, let's start there. Let's start with what language? Programming. Yes, programming. What language? There's a question in there somewhere. I'm trying to just extract it, as it were. So, save as. No, let's open. I've got a chalkboard here somewhere. So, what are we on? Let's title ourselves first of all. Alrighty. So today it's Q&A 4. Oh, that didn't write very much. Okay, let's try writing in that colour. Q and A hash 4. That's what we're doing today. Ding. Lovely. What I'm going to do with Q&A 4 is a question that gets asked a lot. What language should I use? What language should I use? This question is asked in the sense for programming. Now, I have to say that because the answer is easy. And the answer is, well, I'll give you the answer first and then we'll discuss, I suppose. Answer, that's the Q. Answer is your native language. Because I don't know where you're from. For me, that's English. What programming language do I use to program in? I use English. And that is the only programming language you will ever need. All other programming languages that you will ever use will be a derivative of your native language. Or by derivative, I mean will be a subset of your native language. So the best one to learn is your native language, because it will cover all, and I mean all, other languages you could ever use. So how do you become a programmer? Programming. Let's put it down. Programming is not coding. I don't know how to put that. It's not the code. What it is a thought or thinking process. Programming is teaching yourself how to look at things. There you go. In a nutshell, programming is not a profession. It is not a way of life. It is not even a job title. No. There's no such thing as being a programmer. You cannot get a job as a programmer. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as programming. You can become a programmer by thinking and training yourself to think in ways. You can learn pieces of code that enable you to do things, and you can reuse that code over and over and over again. But does that change the way you think? No, that just supports the way you think. Interesting subject. So, now we've got all of that out of the way with, what language should I use for programming? English, or your own native language, because programming is a thinking process and not anything to do with code. What language should your code be in? That's a different story, because that's the question which people are really asking. Let's be honest. What language should my code be in? Not what language should I program in. It's what language should my code be in. Okay. So I think we can get on to that now. We've got the misconception out of the way, and the problem that I have with people asking me, well, what language should I program in? What language are you talking to me in? Hopefully it's English. So let's open the file again. Continue. Current. No, you don't want to see that rubbish. That's all dead now. Chalkboard. So, Q&A. Q&A. There we go. I've got the title back up. So, question. Which language to choose for your code? That's a better question. I've already decided on that. This question, I think, is the best one going, because there isn't a straight answer. Well, there is. It's the one, or the language, that fits the purpose of the application. And there is an extra answer to this. There is a plus. You can use more than one language. That's what people seem to stumble across. What? Yeah, you don't have to just use one language to program in for your code. You can use more than one. There's no harm in that. So that opens up a can of worms now. One that I am not going to even address. What language is best fits what application? Yeah. I don't know. Depends what your application is. I mean, the actual question, which language should I use? Well, I don't know. What's your application do? What does your application use? What kind of... how do you want to present your application to the world? Is it Windows? Is it an Android phone? What is it? One of these Play Store apps? What are you talking to me about? There's no answer to the question unless you can answer it yourself. If you have an idea for an application, if you can have an idea for an application, and you know what that application is, you can't ask anybody else what language you should write it in, because only you know what that application is. So how is anybody else supposed to answer the question? So stop asking it, please. I'm not a mind reader. Well, maybe I am. But that's beside the point. Stop asking it. It's not a valid question. It's an introspective question which you should ask of yourself. And it should not be answered with what languages, you shouldn't decide by what languages do I know. You should answer it by looking up the languages out there and what fits the purpose best for your idea. Now, this begs the question, hail blades. So why do you program in C++? Because I can, is the answer. And that's the reason. Plus I know that C++ is where a lot of other languages have come from, and C. So if you're using things like JavaScript, that came from C and C++. If you're using C#, that came from JavaScript. If you're using F#, that came from C#. But they all boil down to the initial C, which came from Unix, I suppose, in a kind of way. So I suppose it all goes back to Unix. There might be something before that, or something mixed in there that I'm not aware of. I know I'll go on about the history of these things, but I don't remember all of it. I do have to look some of the history up, This coffee's wonderful today. I'm dead relaxed because I'm not programming. But I am going to do some programming today, believe it or not, even though it's a Q&A. Yes, I've already made my mind up. It's because of something that somebody said during the week. Oh God, and I'm coughing like a crazy man again today. Let me enjoy my coffee for a minute whilst you read what's on screen and let it sink in. I get asked a lot of questions, and a lot of them I look at and say, what a stupid question that is. They're obviously asking the wrong person. They should be asking themselves. So, before asking someone else a question about programming, or any question at all really, ask yourself that question and work out what your answer would be. And then if you get the same answer from asking the question of somebody you believe knows the answer, then at least you know you're right. Oh, you've got a good idea that everything's right. Because the hardest thing is to ask a question, get an answer, and think, oh, is that right? Because how do you know the answer's right if you don't already know the answer to the question? I never ask a question unless I know the answer. And the only reason I will ask a question is to verify that I understand the situation the way I believe I should be understanding the situation. That's what I use questions for. To verify my understanding, rather than to find out more. If I need to find out more, I go and do the research. I go do the legwork. I'm not lazy. That's the way I am. Because it interests me. Research interests me. I like to explore things. I like exploration. I think I've done a few series. Actually, there's been at least two series on the YouTube channel where I've explored, and they have taken me in slightly random directions, possibly predictable directions, but I've come away from those learning quite a lot, because I've been researching the answers as I go. I've been going beyond my comfort zone. And I think I'm doing more of that now. I'm way outside of my comfort zone now, programming this MMO, than I've ever been outside of my comfort zone. I have no idea what's going to be the end result. No idea whatsoever. And I'm now happy that I'm on that journey and I've broken the shackles, and I'm again allowed to program freely, which I do miss. Well, I have missed a lot. Programming freely is the true joy of programming. It's got nothing to do with the language you're programming in. So, I've answered a couple of questions. I think we should look at the answers, some answers now. Or possible answers, anyway. We'll go, put that down now. There you go. Let's have a look at my notes. Put my notes up so you can see them as well. I can't see why not. Here we go. Chat about languages like F sharp. F sharp. What do I know off the top of my head about F sharp? I know it's a language. It's a .NET ML language. It's a Microsoft language. Very useful to learn, as it will improve your development of structure at the functional level. And you will also realize by learning this programming language is that nothing more is required. Only functions are required to complete a program. Classes, object-orientated stuff, all of that is just a layer on top to help you abstract away from functions. And functionality, does it get in the way? Yeah, of course it does. Does it make your program better for using object-orientated? Not really. Why should it? It'll make it look different, but at the base level, you will still be using functions in some kind of format within any, I was going to say any language, but most languages. some don't. Some aren't functional, but there we go. The idea of a language having functions and functionality goes all the way back to the beginnings of C. So there's nothing new or a surprise there. We're going way back into the 70s, aren't we? Now, nothing's changed. Languages have changed. The availability of different languages has changed. The purposes for each language as an individual language has changed. There are very few broad languages left. C is a broad language. C++ arguably is still a broad language. JavaScript then starts on to go towards web and web development, I suppose. But I would say JavaScript is a broad language. Python? Broad language, yes, no. Yes, it is. So yeah, broad languages. Yeah, they are still there. There's a lot of not so broad languages, like Golang, which somebody mentioned a few weeks back. But that's definitely web. I think we would say if you're doing web development, Golang is a possible choice. JavaScript is a possible choice. XML, HTML, all the possible choices. There's lots and lots of languages in there for web development. There are specific languages designed specifically for web development, which I probably haven't come across because I've not really bothered with it that much. I'm not honestly bothered about web development. I'm bothered about developing my own web or network, but not about developing the one that's already there, because it's very 2D to me. Very 2D. I don't see very much 3D development going on there. So, to me, it's a bit of a non-interesting area. So what I want to do is I want to now take my 3D interest and my networking interest and put them together and make a 3D network and call it Amberskies. Yeah, there's my idea. Not a very complicated idea either, thank God. Surprised nobody's already done it. I can't really say that the internet's changed much in the past 20 years. The languages we use to use the interweb with have changed, grown, but the internet hasn't. It's still a web page. This information page with links to other web pages. That's all it is. Just information, data, with links to other information and data, all presented to you in this beautiful 2D way, usually in writing and pictures, and the occasional video, as you see here. So it says here, go see fsharp.org if you want to know more about F#. For MS Code, use Ironide. F# plugin. I didn't even know there was one. Ironide. Is there one? Let's have a look. I've got Microsoft Code on there. That's what I usually use. Oh, look. Right, okay. Close workspace. Ironide. Never heard of it. Ironide, there we go. F#, there you go. Requirements.net.core SDK. Official step-by-step installation guide. Blah 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 blah. .NET toolkit. Yeah. Optional suggested. So to get the C# extension, C# and F# are similar. C# is JavaScript, F# is a functional based language. So I suppose that's about as common as they are. So if you want to go on Linux and Mac OS, you have to use Mono, which, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. So that straight away to me means that I would never ever use F# personally, because it involves that there. Mono, by the way, if you don't know what it is a thin layer of Windows which you can place upon Linux to make programs that were designed on Windows work on Linux, especially this .NET business. This .NET business needs, you can't run it on Linux.NET. You have to have an interpreter called Mono, which is a layer in between your .NET and the Linux which interprets for it. So it has this Mono interpreter to allow it to run. I'll call it an interpreter because I think that's really what it does. It just interprets it into real code. So what I say is, well, why not just write the real code in the first place? Why do you need an interpreter? Use a different language. But .NET is learnt for Windows and is used by a lot of companies because their software is on Windows and they want their Windows software to work. And because it's networked within an organisation, they end up using .NET, which means they can no longer then change over to Linux, and there the problems start. But anyway, there is a rant in there somewhere, which we're not going to go for. I don't trust myself with that lot, so I won't be delving in there. So let's just have a look at this instead. Let's go somewhere we can delve inside. Here we go. Visual Studio installer. Dun, 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 dun. Comes as a .NET development desktop environment. You get C#, Visual Basic, and F#. You tick the little box, and it downloads it, and blah de blah de blah. As you can see, I already ticked it. Preempted. Yeah, preempted doing today. So that means I should have it. Visual Studio 2019. Here it is. I don't use it as a programming language, so I can use Visual Studio. Okay, what? Open a project or solution. Create a new project. Okay, let's try that. Language. Ooh, F#. Platform. Windows. Project type. Console. Okay. Well, that really went great, didn't it? That was a bit of a create a new project. Okay. I guess it's an empty project then, isn't it? For F#. There's C#. Blank app. Universal Windows. Okay. Class library. Blank solution. Well, this is a good start. I don't even know how to create an F#. Visual Basic. C++. Oh, this is great. Okay. Continue without code. Alright. Extensions. Manage extensions. Oh, Google test. I haven't even looked at that yet. Updates online. Let's search for F#. Ncrunch. Project System Tools. Tools for working with the C# Visual Basic and F# projects from Microsoft. Alright, we'll download those. Sounds good. Site provider. Quick info. Don't know. OmniSharp. No thanks. CodeMade is an open source Visual Studio extension to clean up and simplify our... No thanks. So, have you just been placed in, or do I have to do something? Close. Do I have to... I usually have to close and reopen, so I'll do that. Here we go. I've got an installer. There we go. Modify. Doesn't even tell you to close and reopen the 2019 anymore. Wow. Part of my Windows 10 isn't working, you know. I found that out yesterday. Somewhere in the patches, Microsoft have broken the Start menu. Okay. Now I've got System Tools. I wonder if that's going to help. Let's try again. Open a project or solution. No, that comes up with that one. No. Create a new project. F#. Okay, I already give up. Okay. You see, this is probably why I don't use F#. No, it isn't. It's because I've never needed to. So, wiki. F# language. Here we go. So, versions. Oh, 4.5, that sounds good. They got that far, have they? Visual Studio 2017. Okay. .NET Framework and SDK core. Yeah, okay. Then it goes through all its abilities. Yeah, okay. Functional programming, let x equal 3 plus 4. Binds values 7 to the name x. Yeah, okay. Type R or return record. Oh, record, okay. R is a record. Name string age int with curly brackets around it. Yeah, that looks alright. Looks like a standard language without semicolons at the end, that's all. Is that a pipe? They're calling it unions. Okay. That looks like the pipe symbol to me. Union case of x of string, piped through then onto union case of y of int. Okay. Looks like to me. Define a sequence by ... or a list by ... or an A by square brackets. So curly brackets for a sequence, square brackets for a list, and curly brackets and pipe for an array. Alright. So there's a bit of symbology to learn. Function composition can be arrowed, pointed to the right and pointed to the left, which is shifting information right and left, or piping it right and left, depending on how you look at it. It's a nice, easy language. Imperative programming, for loops, while loops. Yeah. Object. No, you wouldn't. Don't read that. Just don't do it. Do you really have to do that with a function language? Really? Learn that last. Asynchronous programming. Probably learn that first. This is the best way to learn, I would say. Parallel programming. Not sure about. Is that worth learning? Yeah, probably. Units of measure. Oh, well, it's got them as well. That's good news. Meta programming. Learn that last. Information-rich programming. Oh, learn that. Oh, yay. Oh, this looks like a fun program. Okay. Yeah, so the actual language itself looks okay. There you go. Type. List person. A person class. I don't think I'd like to do that. I don't think I'd like to do that at all. Hello World program. Open system. Console write. What does open system mean? I'd like to know. Open, green words are good. Member. Alright, open, member, match, let. So, yeah, the keywords, there's not that many. In, do, for, yeah, match, with. No, there's not that many. There's not much of a language to learn, is there? The language is the green bits. Let, match, with, let. That means that's a function that's given to you. It's in blue. So that's been taken from somewhere else, SEQ and list. So I'm guessing that means that you would open a library, and that would then allow you to use the functions out of that library. Have I got F# right yet? Anybody? Do you think I'm guessing right here? I think I'm right. Yeah, open system Windows forms, blah 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 blah. System start thread application run. Yeah. Finally run the form. So that's how you would do it. It looks. I think I probably use that as my Hello World program. That looks better. That looks interesting, actually. Alright, I'm going to take you. You look like you're talking sense, nearly. Where's my Windows, Visual Studio? Here we go. Let's pop it in Visual Studio, shall we? Create a new project, blank. B. Blank application, C#. No, can I just have a blank application? Blank solution, here we go. Project name, test, well, that's what we always type. That will not go in there, please. That will go on my D drive. I don't touch my C drive for anything. D drive. Workspace. Have I got a test up? Got a test bench. So that's alright, we'll just go for workspace. And we will call it test F sharp. Test F sharp. Okay, solution name. Doesn't have one. Okay, create. Is our solution. Right, well it's called F sharp, isn't it? So analyze code can't do that. Add. Add a new project. We're back to this damn list again. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing. Can I have at least some kind of file in here, please? Add a new item. Ah, here we go. Just a text file will do for now, please. So you'll do text file.text add. Okay, so now I can paste. That's all I want you to do. Okay. Right, we've started programming in F sharp, haven't we done good? So at this point, I've got to take my own advice. fsharp.org. Oh, yeah, that'll do. Here we go. This is how you learn the language, by the way. Learn. Learning F sharp. To learn F sharp, use one of the free online resources or books below. Okay, introduces you to F sharp and shows you ways that F sharp can help you in day-to-day development of mainstream commercial business software. That's funny. I like that. That's clever. Provides a language reference, walkthroughs, videos and samples and more. You can also contribute to the documentation on GitHub. Wikibook contains comprehensive guide to F sharp programming. Basics and Ascent, yeah, okay. F sharp TV. Well, there you go. Oh, it's him, is it? Okay. Real world functional programming. Oh, these are books, aren't they? Okay, so this is a bit of an advertising thing. Okay. Guides. This seems to limit you down a bit. So these are the kind of guides that you would expect F sharp to cover. Okay. Enterprise programming, what's that? Visual Studio, you can continue using your favourite C# libraries and maintain your existing development processes. So how do you start an F# program? Go back one. Let's go back to the top. Don't know. Getting started. Installing using yeah. Next, before randomly dipping into the posts, you should read the Why Use F# page and hold yeah. Explore the site. Yeah. Installing and using F#. Working with the code examples. Installing F#. Using F# in Visual Studio. You should create an F# program. So as it comes under other languages, Visual F#, does it now? Okay, we'll have a look at that, shall we? So, solution. Solution items. Okay. Add. New project. And I'm looking for Visual F#, it looks like. So, Visual, V, I, S. No. I've got Visual Basic coming up. God, I don't like this new thing that they've done here. Where's Visual F#? This is all Visual Basic, isn't it? Okay, so this is now wrong. It's out of date. Great. So no, I'm not going to show you how to program in F# today because I don't know how to start a project. Oh gosh. Setting up an F# project in Visual Studio 2019. This is obviously out of date. See, that's what I'm looking for there. F# application. Does it come under .NET? Is it a .NET language? Well, it is, yes. .NET. It says C#. It says C#. It says it twice. That one's got a backward thingy on it, and that's got a C# in the top right hand corner. That's a command line, and that's a console app. Okay, there must obviously be a difference between the two. This is Windows Forms, which is what I've got my test piece for. Okay, you've got me. So come on, anybody in chat? How do you start an F#? Did I see one then? No, they're all C#, and it went on to Visual Basic. There's no F#. There's no where is Visual F#? Is it under extensions? Manage extensions. Visual F#. It has a separate IntelliCode. Okay. Online. Visual F#. Have I gone stupid? Where's Visual F# gone? Does anybody know? There's Visual Lint. Oh gosh. This is remarkable. See, I've got an F# program. Don't know how to run it. Save all. I don't care. Get out of my way. Let's do some programming. So the person last week who said they were trying to learn F#, could they please teach me how to start it? How the heck do I even set an F# thing up? So let's have a look. What do I always tell people to do? Google it. Visual Studio 2019. How to set up a visual F# project. Did I mean VS 2019 how to set up a visual F# project? Howie Wilson, he's a Visual Studio 2019 built. Yeah. IT Nota. Microsoft, yay! Yes, I have. Creating a console application. Here we go. One of the most basic projects in the Visual Studio is the console application. Okay. So let's get it back open again. So continue without code. Alright, so what's it say to do here? I'll try and keep it on screen at the same time as it's doing it. So File, New, and then choose Project. So File, New, Project. Okay. In the New Project dialog under Templates, you should see Visual F. Templates. Under Templates. Under Templates. Under Recent Project Templates, maybe? No? Project type. No. Platform. No. Language. Okay. So that isn't working, obviously. Modify. I'll just uninstall it and reinstall it. Save your web file. Continuing. Continue. Just do what you need to do, will you? Get on with it. I might have to uninstall Visual Studio altogether, actually, and just reinstall it with the correct thing on. I don't know. Because it's not obviously got the right thing there. Ah, dear. Come on, Visual Studio installer. Why are you at 100%? Okay. So that should have taken all the .NET stuff out of it. Bring on screen. Language. F#. The language is still there, but you can see that my list has got shorter. Got Java. What? So F# comes up with this, which takes me to here, which takes me to modify, and which takes me to here, which takes me to modify. Continue, do what you want. Have I forgotten something? Might have done. So if any of my viewers now know how to use F#, please tell me how you're supposed to set it up in 2019 Visual Studio. Because according to the internet, I'm supposed to already have it. But I don't seem to be able to find it, which doesn't surprise me considering how they've broken my machine lately. Thanks, Microsoft. Some of my, on Windows, on my startup, when I try and go into submenus, it now comes up with a window telling me what's in the submenu, rather than letting me just go down the choices. It doesn't produce a submenu anymore. It just goes into the Explorer. So this has been through and it's come back, and now if I say new, project, bring it over, project language, F#, there's nothing here. What the? There's nothing here. Oh God, I am not surprised at all. Let's just make sure I've got nothing behind here. Yes, I have. I've got the installer. Just 1 second. Just closing everything down to make sure I'm not going to bugger up what I'm going to do next. I love this. Any questions, by the way? Whilst I'm messing around. So, Visual Studio installer, come here. Come here, you little person. Modify. What have I forgotten? Right. ASP.NET and web development. That's for JavaScript. Let's have you. Azure development, projects, development cloud apps. Don't know, but you sound interesting. Python development. Oh, I'm interested in that, yeah. Node.js development. What does a Node.js do, please? Oh, it's a JavaScript runtime thing. Okay. .NET, yeah, got that ticked. I've got that ticked, so I've not forgotten anything there. What about down here? Anything to do with .NET down here? No. There's a mobile development with .NET, we'll have that. Game development, Unity, no. DirectX, no. Data science? F#, we'll have you. One of these has got a blooming work. Data storage, no. Visual Studio. Extension development, no thank you. No. .NET Core. Okay, .NET there, so yeah, we'll have you. Office SharePoint development. It's got C# in there. Not really that bothered. Okay. Modify. Just give me the lot. Give me everything. And if I still can't find it, then I'm going to give up. Q&A's, huh? Oh, I've got a blank screen. On live. Wonder why. What's my main viewing? Does anybody know? Oh dear. My main view went blank. So it looks as though something's now interfered with my main view. Wow. That's awesome. So all you can hear is my voice, I guess. You can't see what I'm doing. Ah, bless. Well, I guess, sorry, if all you've got is a black screen, don't worry about it. According to Microsoft, it's working as intended. Don't worry. You can hear my voice. You've got chat. Don't worry about it. All that's on screen at the moment is Visual Studio Installer, and it's just installing Visual Studio for me. It seems to have blanked my screen off for some reason, so that nobody can see that I'm doing it. Interesting. Ah, Godfathers. Main view. Can I just switch it off on and off and do it that way, or do I have to go into some other view to switch it over to something else, or what? Studio mode. Transitions. Nothing. I've got nothing. It's just suddenly decided, hey, let's give him a blank screen. So, any questions about programming? Any questions about anything that I've done in the last week? Please shout out. This is the place to do it. If after this Visual Studio installer has installed, actually no, I think we'll restart the stream now. Actually, so I haven't a clue what the heck OBS is doing. Might come out of it. Let's have a look. What happens if I do that? Do we get it back then? Oh wait a minute, you can see my mouse now. Alrighty, I've got a mouse. I can talk to you with my mouse. Yay. Oh God. So the screen that I've got up at the moment is totally black. Wow. Nobody wants to chat to me, so I don't care. Okay. I really don't understand this. So whatever's happened, it's crashed OBS. Alright, I'll stop streaming now and I'll go and do this installer. Stop streaming. Yeah.